Namaste, I'm Sakriya. Today I'm here joined with Dr. Bhanubhakta Acharya. He is currently a lecturer at University of Ottawa, Canada. He teaches communication, journalism and media studies. I'm a grade 12 student who is currently studying science, and both of my parents are journalists. Since both of my parents are involved in journalism, I have observed their day-to-day life, how much hard work they have done, and how much pressure they are under. So, due to those observations, I was not much attracted to studying journalism, so I opted for science. However, when I got to know about you, I was really curious about about journalism after observing your contribution to media and journalism, and after knowing that you have written books on them and are currently teaching journalism at the university. So, may I ask some questions to you related to journalism out of curiosity?
Yes, of course. Okay, go ahead.
So, firstly, why is it important for grade 11 students to study mass communication, and how can it benefit our understanding to the world?
So actually, communication course should be uh, not just the elective, it should be a compulsory course for everyone because communication is interdisciplinary knowledge and every field, for example, a teacher, a mathematician, a scientist, or a journalist, or public relation officials, advertisers, whosoever, everybody is a communication professionals in their professional life. So every 11, 12 students must have the basic knowledge of journalism or communication skills in a broader sense. And maybe if they want to pursue further specific course, then in their undergrad, maybe they can pursue journalism course. But in grade 11 and 12, definitely is very important because it improves communication skills so that they can deliver their knowledge, thoughts, and so there will be less confusion. The world is full of troubles and difficulties because of the communication gap, misunderstanding, and so different kind of thoughts, and they're not coming to in a resolved situation. And on the other hand, critical thinking, for example, we have so many devices, laptops, mobile phones, and television, radio, social media. From everywhere, we're receiving a lot of information, and we don't know which information is reliable, which information is credible. So if we have some basic media literacy or communication skills to understand, verify, identify the credible information, then definitely that can help us in our everyday life. And another part of communication skills is communication skills help you understand the global issues, politics, culture, education, scientific revolutions, ITCs, and other AI-related developments. So if you are already proficient and familiar with communication skills, then you know them. So that you can be, for example, Nepal is a third world country, but because of the communication tools, we can compare our situation, we can learn from developed countries like the United States or UK or any developed other countries, neck to neck. It is just because of the communication tools. So we need to know that also. Another part, even though I will tell you later on, career opportunities when you have communication skills, is interdisciplinary course, and then any discipline you go, later on, for example, 20 years ago I was teaching medical doctors and the pharmacists about communication skills because they also need a better and proper communication. And finally, when you have communication skills, you don't be hesitant. You speak up, and you can become a change agent. So this is all the background of communication skills learning in grade 11, 12.
But there are many credible social media platforms which helps us to communicate information and also fills in communication gap. So even after having so many credible social media platforms, why is it important for us to know about like media and journalism?
So especially what we are focusing in grade 11, 12 is communication as a whole and mass communication. Journalism is a special discipline. Usually, this is specified in undergrad courses. Journalism is another profession, a special profession, but another profession that usually done in 4 years undergrad course. There are practical courses, theoretical courses. But in 11 and 12, and even lesser, for example, in 9, 10, or 5, 6, 7, 8, students must learn some basic media literacy skills. So which media they have to use and how they can use it properly. And which information they have to rely and how they can verify these information whether they are true or false. All social media platforms, they don't have any institutional mechanism that they can filter the correct information and provide. They're not Kantipur television or something others in Radio Nepal that there is a teamwork of the editors and then they verify information and they supply to the audience. It's not that. In social media, anybody can post any information, and those people who are interested or their thought are provoked because of that information, whether that is true or false, they try to share that information, and false information spreads faster and quicker than the real information. For that purpose, I'm talking about media literacy and basic communication skills are important.
But the false informations can be spread through journalists and like our credible medias like Kantipur and other media houses as well. Then
so this is less likely. It's not like Facebook, because in Facebook people are picking up whatever they want to and throwing it on the posting there, right? And so the danger of social media is they're selecting a chunk of information that they're interested in. They are not going to cover the whole story. They're selecting a particular quote, something debatable, disputable, something creates a kind of havoc in society, and they want to spread that. There's so many false information circulating on social media. So social media is really dangerous, and therefore journalism is important because that is there to verify information and try to filter the all wrong information and try to supply the right information. But these journalists must be in a teamwork, institutional mechanism, and they have to work in a way that they are working for dismantling the havoc of false information.
And what is the significance of mass communication in various domains of knowledge, such as politics, culture, and technology?
So, in the first question I already said, communication is an interdisciplinary course and it fits in every discipline. It's like a potato. Whether potato you put like a lentil, potato as a food, potato as another dish, potato as a pickle, potato is fit everywhere. Communication is like this. Everybody needs communication skills. For example, in human rights field, what we used to say when I was working at Human Rights Commission of Nepal, that communication skills, right to communication, is the second most important human right after right to life. So, if you want to express your grievances, you need communication skills. If you want to adopt some knowledge from other communities, you need communication skills. So communication skill is the basic and fundamental things for every human being to be civilized, to be cultured. So communication skills has some potentials in politics because politicians are better communicator. Why people are following around 70 millions, even more people are following Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India. Why millions of people are following some certain gurus? Because they are a very prominent communication professionals and they communicate in a very clear way that people are convinced on that. So in politics, communication is important because it is important to shape public opinions. In politics, it helps people to make informed decisions, especially during the voting season, which party to vote. If they have a good communication skills to decipher information from whatever circulating in social media and mainstream media, then they can understand, they can build up their own informed decisions. So in politics, it's very important. Politicians are professional communicators. This is number one. And similarly in culture, culture is a very important part. So if Nepal is a multicultural society, there are more than 100 languages, more than 100 cultures, right? So if you are trying to trying to undermine others' culture and just try to propaganda your culture, then there is a conflict. What we have to do is, we have to understand our culture, we have to understand their culture, and we have to figure out what are the shared values between those cultures. So communication skills can do this. In an interdisciplinary society like Kathmandu, Newars are there, and Nepali speakers are there, Maithili speakers are there, Bhojpuri speakers are there, and other indigenous peoples are there. So many peoples are there, and if they have a better communication skills, then society can be harmonious, peaceful, and civilized. This way, we need communication skills for the culture. And another part, the technology things, communication is very important for technology, because what is fake news, what is real news, what is complete information, what is partial information, what is biased information, what is balanced information. So we can understand that if we know technology, because Facebook is not neutral, YouTube is not neutral, because they have algorithms and they are already biased. They're set in a different way. So if we know these algorithms are biased and they might produce biased results. For example, when you search your Google, your results can be different than my Google search, because everybody has a different setup of the ICT device. So when we know that, because of this nature of the device, we can have a different kind of outcomes when we try to search something, then there will be less conflict. But if we try to use ICT devices but not knowing what are the basic media literacy skills, then that can reach us to somewhere else. So that may be unpleasant and unfavorable to society. This is why we need to know these skills.
Along with knowing how to use communication tools properly and developing our communication skills, we also need to focus on our careers. So for us grade 12 students and grade 11 students, what career opportunities can media and communication and journalism provide for us?
So especially in 11-12, we are focusing just on communication or mass communication, not journalism. Communication is a broad picture. Mass communication is a little smaller than the communication domain. For example, communication is a big domain. Mass communication is something special domain, because communication is everyday communication between everyone. Group communication, individual communication, whatever. This is whole about communication, and everybody is involved on that. In mass communication, there are professional communicators are involved through television, through radio, through programs, through some kind of social media channels, platform, YouTube Live, wherever. So mass communication is that. Meaning, in mass communication, the institutional mechanism is there, and complex technology are used. In communication, this is holistic and everything is possible. Without technology, without group, without professionals, also communication can happen. So we are talking here in 11 and 12 about communication and mass communication, not specifically on journalism. Now, when we know this basic knowledge, then we can go to journalism in undergrad, one professional career. Another, we can go for the public relation agents, receptions, and there are so hotel management there. Public relations is very important. Another, we can go for the advertising and marketing. This is also communication professionals, and then you can work that. And there are all the organizations in the world, especially corporate organizations and even government organizations, they want communication professionals to develop their own branding and creating a positive public profile. And this is possible by the professional communicators, not else. Another is the content creation in digital media. So for example, people are creating very useful content. Here in Nepal, there is a YouTube channel called Herne Katha. Very beautiful stories are collected from different parts of the countries and even outside, and brought them back in a very nicely woven storytelling content. They are so popular, people are enjoying learning and getting lessons from that life. So you can engage in creating content. So on YouTube, on social media channel, on some mass media channels like televisions and else. So there also you have the opportunities. And in broadcasting, production, technicians, photography, there are also, for example, everybody has mobile phone and they have a very good digital camera. So some basic skills of photography also is required for everyone. But when you learn those things, you can opt for the career for photography, videography, and tomorrow. So there are so many alternative skills. So these skills are still important for any other discipline. If you're in medical science, you have a medical science institutions, maybe you need some knowledge and skills about how to handle with journalists, how to organize press conference and media conference, because every institution need to do this. Public relation. So these all skills are useful for every corporate and public agency. So if we are studying communication skills or communication and mass communication courses in 11 and 12, then there are so many potential avenues open that you can select any during your undergrad.
With the prevalence of smart ICT devices, how can understanding their strengths and limitations enhance students' media literacy?
So actually media literacy is very crucial things. Media literacy should be taught after the primary level, maybe after 5, 6. Students should be given some opportunity to understand which media, how to handle those media, what are the pitfalls of those media, what are the strength of those media. So there are strength of every media. At the same time, there are pitfalls and weaknesses of every media. So when students, because even some child, before going to start the school education, they are already familiar with so many digital tools, including laptops, iPad, and mobile phones, right? So if they are using those tools, then it's a duty of their parents to guide them what to do, what not to do. Otherwise, they can be addicted of some kind of game, some kind of content, and that can lead their life into a different direction, and that may be harmful to society. So what they should do is, at least in 7, 8, 9, 10, there are some kind of basic media skills, media literacy courses should be there. In 11, 12, when they learn communication skills, definitely they understand a lot many things, strength and weaknesses of ICT devices. These days, maybe in Nepal also, but in Canada when I'm teaching some undergrad courses, and then every day students are using some AI tools like ChatGPT or some other the mid-journey type of photo tools and the other tools, because instead of thinking, they are trying to use some kind of ICT devices for supplying their assignments or something else. So we need to tell them what they can do and what they should not do, because that might harm their intellectual growth. For that reason, in grade 11, 12, media education, media literacy skills are very important. Those who are missing media literacy skills, because maybe the courses are not covering them, if they are learning some communication skills in grade 11, 12, definitely they can benefit from this kind of scenario, and they can definitely understand how to handle some ICT devices and what is the proper way to handle them so that they don't compromise with their intellectual growth.
So how does media literacy impact our daily lives, and why is it crucial for every individual today?
Actually, this question I answered already during my other questions responses. Every individual is using some kind of ICT devices, either that is mobile phone or some smart devices, that may be iPad, computer, or something else, some gaming console or smart television, whatever. So when people are using those devices, then they need to know what are the basic media literacy skills and what they should know for that. If they know this, they can make a very informed decision what to do, what not to do, what to delete, what not to delete, what to use, what not to delete, and to what extent they have to use it. So if you are using some, for example, ChatGPT 4.0, then using for some kind of brainstorming, generating ideas, that's okay. But if you are using the same device, same tool to write your assignment. That's not good. So generating ideas, formulating question, reframing question, reorganizing content, these tools are good. But they are generative, and if you are not writing your own assignment, they are writing those assignments too. So this is the wrong part. As a students, we should aware of those things. So this is a part of the media literacy. And another is enhanced critical skills, mean understanding fake news, understanding not to share some kind of false information, not to share unverified information, so that they can help control spreading false information. And improve communication abilities. So when you know these skills, how to speak, how to write, and what is the very effective way to write, organize ideas, present them in a hard news format or in soft news in storytelling ways, that's a good part. And another part is for these tools help you engage in civic engagements, participate in, for example, providing feedback. For example, there is some kind of legal documents, and then that is already on website, and the government or some public bodies are looking for some of the advice, and then you need not go to the parliament, but you can simply write your opinions there and submit it. That is happening in different news feedback as well on online portals. So another part of this media literacy is saving, especially children, saving people, saving students, saving all users from negative use of ICT devices. So this is the better part. This is why we need to learn communication skills and communication courses. And it's already interdisciplinary, and Nepal should provide opportunities, the students like you. If you're interested in communication, even though you're studying science, you could have picked up one course to help you build this. Because this happens in Canada, in developed countries, any students can select some kind of elective courses of communication so that they can sign their career. Because these are the life skills. It's not just the skills for the social science discipline. So they are very important and very basics. Do you have any more questions?
No, now I finally understand how beneficial the subject is, and that it is an interdisciplinary course, and even students who are studying science, humanities, or any other subjects can take it or study it as an elective course.
Right.
So if I had known about it more, like before
Right.
I joined grade 11, I would have opted for communication and media studies.
At least for one elective course, maybe.
At least as an elective course, yes. And now I would suggest all those students who have just passed their SCE
Right.
to choose communication and develop their communication skills and study communication as their elective course along with their main course, and which would be very helpful for them.
Yeah, it's an interdisciplinary course, and definitely whatever media education domain they want to select, definitely this can help. But there are some kind of restriction because of the administrative and academic restrictions, and they don't allow any students to choose communication course. But if they are also aware of this kind of understanding, definitely this interdisciplinary elective course could be allowed like in other developed countries.
No more questions. I'm
Thank
very
you very
aware
much.
of the benefits now.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for the discussion. Thank you for your question.
Thank you.